get that going. Alright. Looks like all that's set up correctly. That's muted. Okay. Alright, well I think we're good to go here. Alright, so I did actually finish that Dragon Quest. Can't say Dragon Quest. Dragon Quest run. Unfortunately, like an idiot, I muted my mic, so the gameplay was decent, but there was a lot of commentary that was probably important to what I was actually doing. So tonight we're going to go with I'm just going to go with a palate cleanser tonight. This is Rygar for the NES. This is sort of an action platformer. It does have some RPG elements to it, which I am going to talk about. I've seen a number of people. There's speed runs. There's like glitched speed runs, which I don't like, because to me that's not actually playing the game. And this is not a speed run, by the way, but it is an alternate route. Why are you just this freaking connection? Let's see. So let's go ahead and get started. I'll just talk while I'm playing here. Let me make sure this is still muted here, because I don't want... Okay, that should still be muted. Alright. So let's go ahead and get started here. So this is Rygar for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Let me see. It would help if I set up my controls correctly. If you like button mashy games, you'll like this one, because there's a lot of button mashing between the jumping and firing your disc armor there. So we're in the first area here. This game actually came with a fairly accurate map. Once you learn the ins and outs of this game, the instruction manual actually came with a pretty accurate map, which once you figure everything out, you know, it will occur to you. It's like, hey, that map's pretty damn accurate. It's just surprising, because I remember looking at that when I was a kid, and I was like, huh? It's like, what does all this mean? So, as you kill enemies, you get stronger, which the instruction manual actually mentions. Now, you've seen where I've put in the title, you know, things that a lot of people who are playing this game don't seem to understand about it. The primary one being these two items on your subscreen that I've watched about 3 playthroughs of this game now, and I've seen approximately nobody talk about tone or last. Tone is essentially your attack power. Basically how toned your body is. It's kind of cheesy. I don't know if this was a direct translation of the Japanese in this case. If this was even a Japanese if this came out in Japan first, I don't know. But it feels like it. Tone seems like a Japanese tone for your attack power that has that sort of weird, like, metaphorical quality to it. And last, of course, is your life bar up there. You can get up to, yeah, see, I've got 3 now. You can actually get up to 12 on your life bar, which you do through killing enemies. Now, you can kill these enemies and gain, like, when I was a kid, I used to hang out here and kill these things until I got up to about, usually 4, sometimes 5 life. Sadly, when I was a kid, as much as I'm talking about this, that, and the other thing and saying that other people don't understand this game, I didn't understand it either. I knew that killing enemies got you more life points, but I didn't know how or why. I just thought it was random. It turns out in the Grand Mountain lies an entrance to Garlos. Garlos is essentially your interconnecting area. That's actually the map I have in the background there. Yeah, so we're at 30 and 18. It's really kind of a waste of time to grind in this area, because we'll just call it grinding, because that's what it is. Anytime you spend time specifically earning you know, building up your character is regardless of, you know, whether it's an RPG. Hell, it could be a fighting game where you get stronger as you fight. Well, that's still grinding. You can actually play through this game because this is largely a skill-based game. It's not really a stat-based game, as you can tell. Because I am getting handled by these Faloracos. Yes, they have a name. I don't know where that name comes from. I don't even know where they got that name, because this is actually one of the enemies that's not in the instruction manual. If you kill a few of these guys, you'll notice these Progokelis. Yes, that's the little turtle creatures. The Koopa Troopas there start dying in one hit. It's because as you kill these Progokelis, you see my tone and my last are both going up, and there are breaks for each one. Now, I don't know if the enemies have different breaks as far as... I've not played this enough to know. I have played it a couple of times in recent... Wow, there's a bug right there. Or glitch. There's the difference between a glug. There's a difference between a glug and a glitch. A bug and a glitch. I can't remember what they are. Like, I believe, like, a bug is bad code and a glitch is unintended behavior. They're related somehow, but they're not 100% related. Okay, so this is the path. That's the path to blah blah blah. To Garlo's. Let's flip over for a second here. Well, no, I don't want to. Let me go back through this door so I don't get hit. Let's pull this up here. This is a surprisingly, let's see. This is a surprisingly accurate map. This is the instruction manual here. I could flip through it. The only, a quick side note here, what I was talking about for lasting power of the Rygar, I like that, the Rygar. You are the Rygar. With the increase in the number of defeated enemies, Rygar is powered up in terms of tone and lasting power. See, but it doesn't specifically, if anything, it points out last here, but it doesn't really point out tone. Yeah, so these items make, these items make Rygar more powerful. It makes them sound like those are items. So the instruction manual just wasn't terribly clear, and I don't know if it's because at the time the game developers just didn't really understand, like, not the original game developers, but again, I'm assuming this game came out in Japan, because those really do feel like Japanese terminology, you know, tone and last. It has that. It says what it needs to, but not what it wants to. Hurts actually, or vice versa. It says what it wants to, but it doesn't really say what it needs to, because, you know, Japanese culture is very they do tend to deal in metaphor and symbols more than the sort of literal nature of English. Okay, so I have got to go. The first place we're going to go, if we look at our little map here, let's see, let me put this back down. If we look at our little map, where'd you go? Yeah, we got to go. You see, you come in right here from Grand Mountain, right? Because you can just look at this and tell, oh, hey, this is where I'm at. You know, just because there is really no point of reference for this. It doesn't say you start over here. It doesn't really tell you. You notice this doesn't tell you where you start. But it's pretty easy to figure out. It's like, oh yeah, the big rock and then the door, so that's where I'm at, and then that's Grand Mountain. So we come in from here, so we need to go up here and get the grappling hook. Of course, back when you first played this game, you didn't really know you need the grappling hook. As a matter of fact, you might have wandered around to Iruga's Forest or even Lapis and figured out, it's like, you know what, I can't go any further, and we'll see that there. I believe there is an indoor guide there that tells you that you can't actually go any further. come on. I need to stop doing that. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get these windows oriented where I want them. Okay, here we go. So we're heading out. Now another technique you're going to see me use here is the jump. When you jump over stuff in these overhead levels, yeah, it can't hit you. Because it's all perspective based. It's that overhead perspective. But you can actually, believe it or not, go back for a second. Let me show you something. I don't know if any speedrunners do this. I've not seen anybody do this. But it is pretty easy right here to grind on this guy. Let's see, 67.39. Let's see what he gives me. 68.39. So he gives you some tone, which will eventually bump your life meter up there. Which I might need. I might actually need to stay here and get some medicine. Actually, I think there is a door somewhere around here where you can heal up. It's not here. Now, those are Hyokin! Which again is yet another reason that leads me to believe this was the Japanese game first. Just because of some of the jeez. Good job. Oh gosh. Yeah. See, I'm gonna die here. It's like, I tell you what, why don't we go ahead and get the grab the the smart thing to do would be to go ahead and grab the damn grappling hook while I'm here. Hey, yes. Thank you. The almighty gods of the Indora. That has a great ring to it. I like that. It does have that sort of Indonesian flavor to it. Matter of fact, so does some of the music in this game. It does have that whole Indonesian, like turn of the century, or even earlier Indonesian flavor too. There it goes. That's okay. That'll give us a death warp back over here anyhow, which is where we need to be. And there is no penalty for death in this game, other than once you build your life meter up, you only start with 3 life. So you will eventually, if you max out your character, you will eventually end up with 12 life points, which is pretty decent. And you can actually get 2 full heals. That you can heal using your. I guess now would be a good time to talk about your mind points. Those little stars I've been picking up here and there are actually your mind points, which you can use. See, I've got 1 there, that little blue bar, and then you can use. These are your spells here. That'll make it so your discard meter goes faster and longer. That's a full screen attack when you use your discard meter. Of course, that's a recovery, and that's why I say that you can actually get 3 full heals. So you can have a total of like 36 life, because you eventually get a potion that'll go in this spot over here where I'm moving the arrow to the left, and then you also have the recover option as well. So you can eventually become pretty survivable in this game. And especially if you, like, as you gain certain items and you max out your tone, or actually your last, I do believe you get a little bit of a defense boost from that. I don't know specifically. That could be entirely apocryphal. I don't know if anybody's actually broken down the code in this game and said, "Oh yeah, you get a boost from, you get a defense boost." I can't believe. Yeah, I'm getting lots of tone here. I'm not getting any last. That's why I'm not getting any more life points. So we may have to spend a minute bopping these dragons here, or excuse me, the Olbis or Olbi is what they're called. So But yeah, that's pretty much the main thing people don't understand is they don't. And I noticed it as a kid. I noticed that sometimes I would get to like Eruga, this first boss, and he would be just a real pain. You know, it just takes so many hits, and I thought, well, I'm just not hitting him fast enough, or I'm hitting him too fast there. I just got another life. Because actually now I'm getting last points. And there are breaks for those. I don't know what they are. I'm sure somebody's documented them somewhere. Believe it or not, this is one of the few like action platformers games that actually shows up on RPG Classics. Because somebody actually figured out all the points and whatnot you get for them, and it's actually pretty nice. I like it. I don't mind this. This could be in that regard that there is kind of a pseudo inventory. At least there's items you have to collect. I guess you'd call them quest items. It's kind of an action. It's kind of an action RPG, but not really. It's still more of a. It's a platformer with RPG elements. I want that, and I'm not going to get it because I'm an idiot. I knew that was going to happen too. See, you can't duck and use. See, if you duck and push B to swing your weapon, you'll go down on you'll use the grappling hook. They'll show you something interesting. You can go down off the bottom of the screen here. Which actually some of the glitch runs do utilize that feature of this game. The fact that you can glitch off the screen. Does that say, is that a glitch? I think that's the first time I've noticed. Am I seeing that right? It says Arove here. It's supposed to say above. Or maybe that's because I don't have the game full screen in the emulator. That it's kind of compressing this, because you can see there's little graphical twitches here and there, and that's because to get a free one, I'd have to go full screen. I don't want to go full screen. Wow, okay, apparently there's a door right there. There it is. Let's go up here to that big gold record in the sky. Nothing up there. You can go up this way. And that is actually the final dungeon right there. Yeah, I'm gonna take another hit. Yeah, you must meet the 5 indoors. I guess that's telling you you have to collect all the quest weapons. When in reality, I think all you actually need to get to that thing is the flute. I think you need the grappling hook, the crossbow, and I think you might be able to beat the game that way. Oh, nope. I knew that wasn't going to let me go that far. You can only, that's another thing. You can only extend that grappling hook so far. It does not let you go all the way down. Come on. There you go. Yeah, you go. I didn't want to do that. Alright, as you can see, this is the point where you have to have the grappling hook to continue. Let me kill some of these guys. Oh, give me some medicine. Some medicine or some mind? Take the medicine. That works for me. Now, as far as the balance of this game goes, if each screen you come up on, if you basically stay there and kill stuff until you can one-shot it, then you're going to be, you'll have a pretty easy time. If you're in an area where it takes about 2 shots to kill some things, then that's about where the game wants you to be. Because like I said, if you stay in an area and kill stuff and build up until you can one-shot everything, you're gonna be you're gonna find the boss underwhelming. Some bosses are still, I mean, it's still skill-based, don't get me. The bosses fire at you, you still have to dodge. So it's not you're not gonna go in there and just, you know, blast him in the face once or twice and he's gonna die. No, there's still a modicum of skill involved. But if you, like I said, if you spend a lot of time grinding, it'll go down in usually no more than 10 or 15 hits, which you can, as you can see, you can swing this weapon pretty fast, and it registers hits very. I mean, the game, like I got a turbo button, right? I think one of these is a turbo button, or was a turbo button, but yeah, there we go. That's the See how fast I'm doing that? That's actually that's the fastest you can swing that weapon, which is, I think, every other frame. Like basically 30 hits a second, or maybe it's every fourth frame. I'm not real sure. Again, the kind of thing I'd actually have to look into. But I mean, you're swinging the weapon. It's like the weapon has an animation. See, it goes out, it comes back. Well, with that, you're swinging the weapon so fast it's not even having time to complete its animation there. But that is how fast the game will register hits. Now, granted, you have to get in pretty close to do it like that. But yeah, you can cheese this game and you know. Oh, it's doing that thing where it doesn't want to let me swing when I jump. I don't like that. I don't know why it does that. But as you can see, we've healed back up there. I'm not gaining any, I'm gaining a little bit of last, not a lot. Of course, at this point, I'm not taking a lot of hits. These side-scrolling areas are pretty easy. If you're good at platforming, you'll very quickly pick these side-scrolling areas up. They won't be a problem at all. Now, here's a trick for you. These things are a pain, right? You just scroll them off the screen. Which again is a it has to do with how the game draws the enemies. Okay, there we go. We got some more life. I guess now would be a good time to talk about the alternate route. There's a recommended route through this game. There's a route that the game wants you to take. And so far we haven't deviated from it. And it's only going to be one minor deviation anyway, because this is not a huge game. This game came out, I think, in '86. Yeah, 86 or 87. It's one of the early games. It's actually damn good for as early as this game, because a lot of those early NES games are just terrible. It's actually pretty damn good. By the way, those things are called Kinatarnos. I don't know why. The little caterpillar things there are called Kinatarnos. This is actually an excellent. If you're underpowered for Aruga, is the boss we're gonna fight. This is a great area because these things pop up. It's also, see, now we can go ahead and power up here, which, as you can see, gives us more speed and range. Matter of fact, yeah, it doesn't really do anything for that, but we get more speed and range here on a regular swing, which is very useful. Some of these jumps can be tricky. The key is to not psych yourself out. This is not the one I'm talking. This is the one I'm talking about right here. This is a jump right here. You might think, oh, I can't get across there. I got to throw up my freaking my grappling hook. But that's not the case. See, you can grapple up. There's nothing there. You're like, so what the hell? So you actually have to jump across here. And you actually, it's useful to just kind of hang out and make sure your path is clear. And you can actually make that. It looks like you can't make that jump, but you actually can. Yeah, I think we'll be alright here. We can always go back and grind a little bit if we need to. Oh, am I trying to tank this guy? I'm an idiot. Because I don't even have full health. Wow, man. Nope, I can't tank him. So I'm gonna need some health. And I'm not gonna... I'm not dealing with dodging his bullet. No. I'm just not in the mood for that. I just want to walk up to him and own his face. That's what I want. That's why we're gonna hang out here for a minute and kill some more olbies. Or kill some more olbis. Or olbi. Well, we at least get our power up there. I'll fight him the right way. I'll try and dodge. Yeah, I know. Effort, right? Who needs effort? What do you need effort for? Come on. Give me some little dragon wraps there. They look like little salad wraps to me. Come on, give me some salad wraps. Blump, 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 blump. Oh, that's right. When you die, you lose your power up too. I forget about that. So I'll need to power up again. I'm not going to power up before I fight him. It does not actually increase your attack power. It just increases the speed and range of your weapon. That's all it does. But it does not increase your attack power. So power-up's kind of misleading. Come on, there's going to be more than... Power up now. Just because I can. I'm not going to... Now what I could do, like if I couldn't beat this guy at this point, see this is before you get the coat of arms. Once you get the coat of arms, then you can visit the gods that'll give you the, they heal you and they give you the potion once you have the coat of arms. Well, this is before you get the potion, so, but you have all your spells from the start of the game. So you can actually fill up your mind points, and if you need to recover during battle, you just do this same way you power up. You come to the sub-screen, you just move the up and down pad, and it moves that one automatically, and you just push the A button to use your mind points. Come on, spawn me some baddies. There we go. Alright, so we've got some more. We got some more tone, we got some more last there, so let's go ahead and see if we can blow this guy away. There we go. See, once you start dodging his bullets, he becomes a pain in the butt. Alright, yeah, see, I pretty much tanked him, but if I had to, see, I was down to 1 point. If I had all my mind points there, I could have came over here and it would fill me back up. So. Alright, so this is the wind pulley. It's basically the thing you need to get to the next area. Because I believe you actually have to have the cross. The route I want to take, I think you have to have the crossbow. Because that's the next thing. You get the wind pulley, which lets you slip. Excuse me, lets you go across on these ropes here, which is kind of wonky funky. The way I used to have a hard time when I was a kid, like hooking up to. I would just walk right into the water there. You just fall down the pit. There is a heal up here somewhere. It's not up here. Because there's some gods that will heal you without the coat of arms, but the ones that ask you if you have the coat of arms will, yeah, they want to, they'll heal you once you have it. Okay, so the next area we're going to go to, if we refer back, let's refer back to the map here. The next area we want to go to is, God, I get all these windows confused. So we just came from here, right? If you go here, you'll encounter a dead end where you'll see the post, but there'll be no rope. Well, that's why you need to go get the crossbow, is to shoot the rope across. And you then it fires the rope across, and then you hook up with your wind pulley and slide across. Or what's the word? Not rappel. There's a word for it. Zip line, I guess. So that's where we came from. So we're heading back that way. I'll see what we're going to go around and do. And see, there's a place for you to use your newly acquired wind pulley right here. And this takes you to the Den of Sagila. It actually takes you to, what's it called? Primeval Mountain, and then the Den of Sagila. So we'll put that back up. So we wanted to look at that. Da-da-da. Okay, this window. Alright. This specific order I have to do those windows in. Now I gotta remember my way over there. I think this is the way. I know the way. I must. Whoa! Yes! Don't do that! Just walk right into the water. Yeah, those edges can be a little, first step's a little low. Oh, God. Don't do what I just did, which is walk right into the water. Yeah, you can't actually walk out as far as it looks like you can walk out. I mean, you can jump out there, but you have to swing back. But yeah, don't. That's why I always stay on the inside here. I don't want to take the chance of me accidentally walking into the river there. Now, see, here's where we use our wind pulley, and we. I keep wanting to say rappel. Rappel's not the word. That's where you bound down the side of a mountain or a cliff. So this is going to be our next This has to be our next destination. This is about the only. This is the only other place you can go. Every other place you go at this point is you're going to encounter a dead end. So in that regard, the game is designed somewhat decently. Man, getting across this thing without getting hit is a pain. I'm gonna take a hit. I'm gonna take another hit. This place, you can die in this valley here pretty easily, like that. Because there's just stuff coming from every direction. But hey, at least we get to start back here, right? Then you've got essentially 3, maybe 4 hits. Wow, man. Just wow. You can't avoid getting hit right there. Because you can't swing your... I don't think you can swing your weapon on the rope. I'm gonna die again. In the exact same spot. The exact same way. But hey, on the plus side, at least as I kill these things, you don't, when you die, you don't lose your tone in your last. So you do continue right where you, so eventually, I mean, unless you're stuck on a specific boss, the game is pretty good about not letting you bottleneck yourself. Oh gosh. It's another one where you're just gonna take a hit. Yeah, see, you have to tank these hits. See, I can't even get to that. Wow, man, I cannot believe I'm dying so many damn times. I mean, I've died in this valley, but never this much. It's like it's like if you wanted to make this a little more accessible, because somebody might get to this part of the game and say, well, screw this, stop this, you know? It's like, either take out the airborne enemies or take out the ground enemies. I think in this case, just take out the ground enemies. You don't need both. You just have a hail of just everything coming at you here. Yeah, I know, get good, noob. That is what we're dealing with here, basically. This is a case of get good, noob. Wow. That took way too many tries to do that. Now this is a place where you can easily get lost in here, but the actual route is very simple. The actual route is you just keep going straight. Wow! Not only was I dead, I was a bouncing dead body, and bounced off the other enemies too, and hit the damn ceiling. That's okay. At least that gives us a little bit of life back. There is a spot where I'm going to stop and not grind for tone and last, but I am going to grind for mind points, so I can at least heal up. But this isn't the spot. It's a spot where you if you just kneel and swing your weapon, you could basically turbo button. You can't get hit because no enemies come from behind you. See, any one of these spots here, unless you're up against a wall, and even then, those amulums that come out of the ground, that's what they're called, can actually nail you. They can like just come up right under your feet, even if you're up against the wall. Potobos there. It's not what they're called, but that's what I always called them, because, you know, Super Mario. Because of Super Mario. I got some more life, finally. And the boss that we're headed to kill is called Sigila. It's a giant spider. Now, see, this area is more reasonable. You've still got the slightly stronger and faster enemies from the beginning area, because these actually are different versions. These aren't the enemies from the beginning area. I mean, they are, but they actually have more hit points, and you actually get I think you actually do get 379, 342. No, you don't. You still don't get any tone or last for them, but you do get some. They do take more hits. Now they're not taking more hits because I've spent some time building up my strength. But yeah, see, this is it. You just go straight across here, and then we come right back in, and it makes you think. Wait a minute, is this the place I just came from? It's actually not. And then we're gonna head right back this way. Can't believe I took a hit there. Now this is the spot I'm talking about. Basically, you just kneel and these things just keep coming at you. These tube grubs or slimes or whatever you want to call them. They look like a slime wearing a body stocking. That's what they look like to me. I just want to, do I want to do a recover? I want to do, let's go ahead and do a power up. My mind, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I need one. I think I need one more. I need one more mind point, and I think we'll be full. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I guess 7 is the max you can get. I don't want to do a recovery yet. I'm going to save that in case I need that for the boss. I'm going to just kill my way to the boss here and hope that, that's another thing, by the way. I'm sure you've noticed you can actually grab items with your disc armor, which is useful in places like that. I think the only change I'd make to this game, just to make it a little easier, a little more accessible, when I say changes, I specifically mean changes for modern gamers who like their game, who don't really, who just aren't very good at these old games. Because these old games are hard, I won't lie. Wow, I can't believe I did that. But I think it takes you back to the beginning. Alright, well that's good to know. Takes you all the way back to the beginning. And people ask, it's like, why don't you divide these videos up? Or why don't you edit out your deaths? I'm like, effort. You want me to exert effort? You want me to learn how to use video editing software? Or actually, the one time I did have video editing software on this computer, my video card basically almost caught fire. Actually, it wasn't that. It's the software just... Even free software still requires a bit of a hefty computer, which I don't have. My computer is 5 years old at this point. I got this computer back in 2013. And it was a mid-range system for the time. It was not like a ultra, you know, it wasn't an Uber gaming rig or anything. But it was better than what I had had before. And besides, most of the games and emulators I play don't require a lot of heft. Okay, that's alright. Thankfully. So editing videos, I actually just downloaded some software to create some thumbnails, and it basically just ground to a halt. So I'm like, well, that's not going to work. And I don't have the funds for a new computer right now. Yeah, I know. You know, if you weren't sitting around on your ass playing video games, you might have some money. Well, it's my prerogative. As I said on the Grand Muted video, the video I recorded where the microphone was muted all the way through. If that isn't just a prime example of why I don't do this for a living and don't want to do this for a living, I don't know what is. But as I said last night, the corporate world and I are on a break. That's all I'm going to say. Corporate world and I are on a break, and I don't harbor any fantasy of making a living doing this. Again, for not the least of which reason is this is the kind of thing I could do for a maximum of about... I mean, if it's a game I'm just completely in love with, I could do it for maybe a maximum, I am going to die again, a maximum of 4 hours. I don't have enough points to heal up either. I would go ahead and heal. I don't have the points. See, if you plant yourself against this wall, see, they still come up from under here. That's exactly what I was talking. It's exactly what I was talking about there. Even if you plant yourself up against that wall, they can still come out from under your feet. Which, if you ask me, is cheap, but the game wants you to keep moving. And that's another reason why these old games are much harder, because they're unforgiving. They do not care what your skill level is. You know, they do not... Some of them did, but a lot of them, there was no easy option. Especially in, like, the original Japanese versions. There were a lot of games we got here in the United States that Nintendo of America... I think it was specifically Nintendo of America that added a easy, normal, hard option for some games. That could be apocryphal. I mean, it could be the Japanese were conscientious of their younger gamers, and it's basically a learning curve. It's like, well, if you beat the game on easy, Now try. Matter of fact, I think some games actually said that as part of the ending text. They would say, well, you beat the game on easy. Why don't you try it on normal difficulty? All right, so you get good enough to beat the game on normal difficulty, and in the ending text, the same thing. It would say the same thing. It would say, all right, well, you beat the game at the regular difficulty. Why don't you try the super difficulty? And then actually, a few games actually had like a had an ultra hidden difficulty that you actually, once you beat the game on the hard difficulty, it would sort of unlock. It was kind of an early version of an unlockable. You could unlock the ultra like God tier difficulty. As a matter of fact, there was yeah, I think it was Blazing Lasers for the TurboGrafx that had a debug menu you could get into where it had like 6 or 7 difficulty options, and I specifically remember one of the difficulty options was God of the game. Which I love that. Which actually wouldn't be like a bad username for, like, I guess somebody that does this on a more regular basis. It'd probably be a good username for them. God of the game. I do specifically remember that. See, once we can get to this boss, we can beat the boss. And I almost just went down that pit. And I'm pretty sure we're going the right way here. You go back. Basically, you go back, and then you essentially just keep reversing your direction. I don't think there's any, places here where I have to tank any hits. Yeah, see, I don't want to take a hit right there. Now, see, that's actually bugged. There's 2 of those shooting up. You can barely see it, but they're there. Alright, and this is the boss room. We don't really have, we don't have enough to recover. Have we already powered up? No. I guess we could do that. That's about our only option. Matter of fact, for the sake of not having to do this crap again, I'm just going to go ahead and choose save state. Even though this is actually a really easy boss. Because it mostly just bounds around the outside of the room. And once you hit it, it backs back up. Yeah, see. We're actually a little ahead of the curve because he only took like 4 or 5 hits. I'm Endora. I'll give you this crossbow. Alright, well, now is the point where I am actually going to deviate from the recommended path. Or not the recommended, but the path the game wants you to take. Normally, you'd continue around this island, and there'd be a place for you to use your newly acquired crossbow, and that would take you to the Palace of Durago. I'm not going to go there. Now that I can get to Lapis, I'm actually going to Lapis first. The reason I'm doing that is because that's where beating that boss gives you the coat of arms. And that's actually an excellent place. You'll cheese the game after that, because Lapis is, while not the can be the final area if you make it before you get to the palace. If you actually can make it. See, yeah, there's the... I was supposed... That goes up to the palace there. So, I'm going to take an alternate route here. I'm going to go around to the... I'm going to go around to the... Yeah, take me back to the other island. Which means we have to go all the way around. Come on, clink, there we go. You can die trying to connect up to that thing. because sometimes it does not cooperate. Or maybe it was just user error when I was a kid, which is a distinct possibility. I was not good at games. Matter of fact, that's why I largely played RPGs, because RPGs were more numbers based than actual skills based. Which I know that's why a lot of people have, you know, a lot of modern gamers, you know, especially guys that like the action RPGs, have a lot of disdain. Because like, oh, that doesn't require any skill. That just requires you to grind out thousands of experience. Yeah, that's pretty much it. But at least we had the patience for that sort of thing. Whereas I think the industry, even gamers like me, who for some games grinding is kind of a zen activity for me. Hell, even in a game like this, just grinding is actually zen for me. But a lot of gamers don't like that. They want, you know, they want to move, go, you know, progress. Which, hey, I get it. You know, it'd be like for me like a platformer like Super Mario or something. Now see, that's Aruga's Woods. We already came from there. It'd be like, you know, platformer just kind of hanging out, you know, if it didn't have a timer, just sort of hanging. Is there a heal over here? I could have swore there's a heal around here somewhere. Ugh. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, that's one of the heals you don't need the coat of arms for. Actually, I think that's the only... There's two of those. I think there's one at the top of the mountain. When you go back to Grand Mountain, I believe there's one at the very top. And then there's that one right there. There's the only two heals in the game that you can get without the coat of arms. We're going here. Yeah. This is where we're going now. See, this guy's bouncing around a little faster. And I am killing my way there because these enemies are hard in this area. Not these things. As you can see, everything is moving faster here. Including the Epolcons, which are those never-ending story looking things. I can't... Falcor. Falcor! Oh, God. What is up here? Does this take you to the tower or Lapis? I can't remember. Yeah, the tower's on the mountain. Alright, now see, this is one of the final areas here. It can be the final area if you make it. See, I just one-shot that guy. I think we're going to be okay here. The really bad enemies in this area are the robots. I think that's the one that tells you can't go on without the grappling, yeah. Well, yeah, you need the grappling, but you also need the crossbow. Well, it gets to a point where it tells you that, I believe. It says, you can't go past here with the... it's right on top of me, man. Yeah, those robots, they hit hard. But the great thing about them, you get 25 points of tone and last for those guys. So they respawn. So there is one specific area around here where there's a whole bunch of them, and it's a great place to just go ahead and max out your character. You know, if you're not speed, obviously I'm not killing them quick. See, normally you can kill them before they get a chance to fire their weapon, but I'm not killing them fast enough yet. I don't exactly remember my way around here. Yep, okay, down. And then we do that. That used to scare the hell out of me, because basically you just have to walk right off the cliff. That used to just scare the hell out of me. I'm gonna kill me some bots. Yeah, I'm getting to the point where I can kill those things before they kill me. Where are we at? Okay, we need to be over there. Actually, we need to be back this way just a little bit so that bird doesn't hit us. Ah, you can use your weapon. Yeah, see, I couldn't remember if you could use your weapon while you're hanging out. While you're hanging out or not, man. I believe this is the area with all the spawns, which I am going to die if I don't start paying a bit more attention here. Well, somebody might want to be watching me play this and say, hey, you're pretty good at this. Actually, I'm not. I as you can see, oh, that's it for me. See, I believe once you max out, you can actually 1 or 2 shot those things. Whoa! Please go down from here. Wow. So you really do have to go to the very edge there, don't you? Bye-bye, Mr. Robot. He just spawns up in the middle of nothingness. Do I have... Yeah, I can heal up. Yeah, so it's probably a good idea at this point. Actually would be a good spot to so you can tell them as the more points you gain, the stronger you get, because now they're dying before they can get a shot off at me. And as I said, if you're in an area and most of the monsters take 2 or fewer hits, you're about where the game wants you to be. If they take more than 2 hits, then you're slightly underpowered. If you could one-shot everything, then you're actually slightly overpowered. It's may not seem like it as much as I've been dying, but it's actually, as far as the stat system itself goes and the damage formulas, it's actually fairly well balanced. Of course, I wish I knew what the drop formula were. That's probably the next thing for me to look up. Is like, well, what exactly is the drop? What determines what drops and when? Because it doesn't seem to be number of kills. It seems to be random, and there doesn't seem to be. I mean, there's only 2 drops. You either get, or 3 technically. You either get medicine, you get a mind point, or you get 2 mind points. And it doesn't seem to be, there doesn't seem to be enemies that favor a particular drop. Like, you know, like a game like Zelda or something, where there's like certain enemies that drop, you know, you can always rely on certain enemies to drop certain things in Zelda. At least the original. I don't know about later games. I'd actually considered playing a hack of, I've been watching a few speedruns of Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link. I actually considered playing a hack of that where somebody just, I think they just went through and, well, no, they made like an easy type hack. I don't want to play that, because that's just, the changes they made were just stupid. As I said, probably the only change I would make to this game in terms of the difficulty is the difficulty is fairly well balanced. The only change I would make is well, besides that other area where I talked about, I'd either take out the sky enemies or the ground enemies, because that's just a little too difficult, just a little too much going on, is I'd make the drops a bit more frequent, which would actually not only let you heal up quicker, but also kind of make these a bit more useful. Because right now, I've only used these, like, what, a few times? I think I've used Power Up, like, 3 or 4 times. And I've used Recover once. Just because mine points are just... They're not scarce, but they're not common either. We'll say uncommon. You say, well, why are you grinding right here? Because I just want to... Once I get to where these robots are cheese... Yeah, see, they're taking 2 hits. So this is right about where the game wants me to be in terms of the difficulty. Because and it took me a while to get here, because again, there's normally a whole other area you complete before you come here, potentially 2 whole other areas before you come here. The only other area besides Durago's Palace, which we will be going back to, is the tower. Which basically every enemy, there are no mobs in the tower. It's all boss. They're all boss monsters basically. Once you kill them, they're gone. There's a couple of big snails. There's a dragon tank, and then there's the boss, which I think is called Death Pigger or something like that. Weird. That sounds like something that would make a really good band name. It's Columbia Records death metal band, Death Pigor. That sounds right. There is a max, by the way, and it's a bizarre number. It doesn't really line up to anything specifically. Did I just one-shot that guy? Another thing I used to notice back in the day is sometimes you would one-shot certain enemies, and other times they'd take a hit or 2. I don't know if that's because they spawn with just a different number of hit points, I guess, if we want to refer to it as that. Like, I guess the only way to determine a creature's hit points in this game, well, aside from breaking apart the code, would be to essentially go to every area with 0 tone, like 0 attack. Basically your basic attack, the attack you start the game with, and see how many hits it takes. And I guess you could assign, and that's assigning a value of 1 to your attack at the beginning of the game, basically saying every attack I do at this level is 1 point of damage. So however many hit points it would take. But as you see, we're one-shotting these guys now. You see, we're not maxed out yet either. Because at this point in the game, most enemies give you tone and last, so you'll max out your strength and your, and you see, just got some more hit points there. You'll max out your strength and your hit points right around the same time. Though it looks like I might have already maxed out. I've not maxed out my strength yet, because it says 2924, 2942, so like 22 points there. 3088 on the thing. Let's see what do we get here. 3107, so that's what, 19? So these are giving us 22 points of tone and like 19 points of last for each one we kill. Which is about the best, this is basically the best trash mob in the game of these robots, which are called Bargans, by the way. Which doesn't make me think of what you think it would make me think of. It actually makes me think of an actor, a guy named Daniel von Bargen, who most people would recognize as the commandant at the military academy, where Malcolm, Malcolm in the Middle? His older brother went to a military academy. Well, the commandant, that was an actor called Daniel von Bargen, who was also had a rather infamous guest role on Seinfeld as well. And later, sadly, tried to off himself and failed. Like, he committed suicide, but he failed. It's like, and I'm not joking. I don't want to make jokes about suicide, but there is a joke to be made there, and that is, it's like, how much of a loser do you have to be? It's like, you want to kill yourself because, oh, I failed at this and I failed at that, and then you go to kill yourself and you fail at that. So, while suicide is not funny, that does make me giggle. So, because I'm sure somebody somewhere will be offended, because this is the current year, and that's the shtick now is, oh, I'm offended, go fuck yourself. I probably shouldn't have said. That's probably going to get me banned from Twitch. If anybody were watching this, which they're not. Because, you know, I just started doing this. And who knows if anybody gives a rat's ass about all these old video games. I started doing this because nobody else was. Or the people that were playing these old games were like doing speed runs and glitch runs and tasks. And those are fun for a watch or two. But not really my thing. Now, I don't mind challenge runs. I do like challenge runs. And then there's some guys out there that are playing some older RPGs using, and even older adventure platformer games using like a randomizer. And those can be an interesting watch. But you got to find somebody that's able to provide somewhat decent commentary. Which is what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to keep the thought process going. Because I am going to max out, because that's what just skip ahead if you have to, you know, because nobody's watching this live, so I'm not worried about that part of it. But yeah, I might even be a nice guy when I push this up to YouTube. I'll give you a timestamp of where the grinding ends, so you can just get on with it. So, like, I could go back up to that other platform where there's like 3 and 4 of these guys dropping every couple of seconds. Unfortunately, I'm likely to die. I'd probably be more survivable now that I'm one-shotting them, but I'm good with this. We're right before the boss. I don't want to go all the way back there, so we're just gonna stay right here and keep smacking this bad boy around. Keep smacking this poor bastard in the face. Like, give me all your experience and all your gold and all your TP and all your LP and all your luminance points and all your ability points and all your mind points and all your letter and all your zenny and all your gil and all your gold and all your gold press latinum and all your pyreals, all your silver pieces and electrum and all your platinum pieces. And I think that, see, I've got my maxed... Okay, I think we're maxed out now. Actually, I believe we are. We just got another life point. Yeah, 4094 and 4095. Just to make one more, just to make sure. And I believe we are actually maxed out here. Yeah, so you're 4094 and you're 4095. So actually, what is that? That's a, is that a 6-bit value? No, that's a, 8, 9, 10, is that I think that's a 12-bit value, actually. 4094. Let me think of that for a second. Let's see, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yes, that's a 12-bit value right there. So your experience and your life go to 12 bits. Now there is a way to cheese this boss here. You can grapple your way down to the bottom screen, and it actually lowers him. It glitches him downward just a little bit, to where you can just jump and hit him instead of having to be up on this platform. He'll die way before. Yeah, see, once you're maxed out, man, all the old bosses, everything but the last boss dies in a few hits. And even then, I think the last boss only takes about 12 or 15 hits. Alright, see, now this is why we took this route, is to get the coat of arms. And the reason is so we have access to extra healing in the next 2 areas that we're going to go to. Which you would have had access to eventually anyway, but I wanted to do that first. Just to see how hard it would be, to see if I could actually max. That's kind of a little experiment I was conducting there as well, was to see if I could actually max out my level. and then go do. I'm probably going to, because of that, then the next area we're going to go to is actually going to be really easy. Easy in terms of, there's nothing there that's going to give us a challenge. And everything will die in one hit. Because normally, you would go straight to the Palace of Durago right after you killed Sigila, the spider. And the enemies in there would take about, again, 2 hits or so. Sometimes those little things crawling around, they're called Germans. I don't know why. I call them the little babies. You know, that's what they reminded me of, like little babies crawling around. See, here we go. This is what I'm talking about. This thing doesn't always want to cooperate. It's like, alright, come on. Oh, boy. Where are we at? We're there. So we need to go this way. Sorry, OCD, I can't help but kill things that pop up in front of me. That's another reason I'm not a huge fan of speedruns and tasks, because they tend to just... I understand the point is to beat the game as quickly as possible. I get it, but it's not my... I have such an OCD thing about completionism that it really... It troubles me deeply. I can enjoy the run for what it is, but it does... It sets off my OCD. You know, so... I could be a Let's Player in that regard. You know, I even thought of rebranding myself as like the OCD gamer, but I'm actually not. I am not the OCD gamer. I can point you to an OCD gamer. And that's a guy that used to post a lot of videos of him grinding. He doesn't, he still posts them every now and then, but nowhere near as much as he used to. You may have heard of him, a little guy named Ulalilia, or who went by the name of Ulalilia. No, we want to go around this door. I wanted to do it without having to step out onto the ledge, but okay. But yeah, I thought of rebranding as the OCD gamer, but then I really wouldn't live up. There's some games where I'm not going to live up. Is that an actual door or a glitch door? Okay, that's an actual door right there. Sometimes there'll just be things that'll just glitch and appear, and they're not actually there. This is a somewhat glitchy game. Now this is another thing that's kind of a pain. You have to stand in a specific spot and push the B button, and you'll just shoot your crossbow across so you can get across. Hence across a bow. Now the difficult thing about this palace is mostly just the speed of those enemies there. But to cheese it, you just come behind these pillars and they can't get to you. And let's go in here. I know there's a guy yet another reason I took the alternate route is I think there's a guy in here that asks you if you have the coat of arms. So while the game doesn't... I like that the game is slightly open world. It's... Oh, God. It's slightly open world in that you can go to places. God, I'm terrible at this. It's like hug the wall and just jump. And nothing can get you. Pretty sure there's a heal in here somewhere. The game's open world, but you do need certain items to get to certain places, and you need the flute item to get, or what do they call it? The Pegasus flute, or something like that. Like at this point, there's no point to killing these things except maybe for a medicine drop. That's about the only point, because at this point we're maxed on our attack and presumably defense. I don't actually know if there's a defense. Like, I watched a guy play this the other day, and he was taking, like, a full 3... He was taking a full 3 dots of damage. Yeah, here we go. See, this is why I went and got the coat of arms first, because when you get to this guy, he gives you, not only does he fill you up, but he gives you a potion that you can use to recover as well. So if you max out your mind points, you have your recovery potion there, and you have your recovery spell, you can actually, with, you notice I've got 12 energy points there. You can actually have, you can take 36 points of damage, you know, and given the final boss does about 3 a pop, well, you can take 12 hits before you die. You do have to monitor your vitals though, because I mean, it's not automatic. You have to manually. Is this where I came from, or is this where I went? You do have to manually monitor your stats. God, I hate those things. They are hard to hit. They especially like when they turn sideways, they have a wonky hitbox. Oh, they're gonna respawn. But again, see, the best way to dodge things in these overhead areas is just to jump. And this is and this boss, I think this is a dead end up this way. I want to see what's up here though. I don't remember. I think it's just another guy saying, "Ah, fight, fight, fight." Oh, you'll go fight now. It's all Indonesian, so you'll go fight now. Ask him to release my daughter. If you see Drago, I want you to punch him in the face. Punch him in the face and tell him to release my daughter. You bastard man. Tell him I said, screw you, bastard man. You cheating bastard man. I'll take the mind points. By the way, that's the sound it makes when you kill something. It's actually quite satisfying. It's a very satisfying sound effect when you kill something in this game. Because they explode. First of all, the graphic explodes, and then the sound is that of like something like throwing a garbage bag full of water off a 10-story building, and it hits the cement and just explodes all over the place. It's very satisfying. Yeah, see, you can come over that way, but then you can't get past the pillars. So I believe this is the boss monster. What is the boss monster there? The easy way to fight this guy is just do this, back and forth. Like, the legit way to fight this guy is, there really is no legit way to fight this guy. If you could try and dodge these things, but it's a pain in the butt. And I'm gonna stop screwing around now before I die. And then there's the suit of armor. Whether or not this actually offers you any protection is up for debate. Again, don't know if anybody's broken the game's code apart to see if there actually is a defense mechanic in this game, or if the damage monsters do is just the damage they do, and you just have to like it. Alright, so we are going to go ahead and head out to the... well, to basically the last area before the final dungeon, which is the Tower of Garba. So we're going to go ahead and head out that way. Which is, we got to go back to the mountain, actually. We have to go back to Grand Mountain and climb up to the top, because there is a heal up there. This is just nervous energy. This thing just jump and swing the weapon. Some people like to swing the weapon, jump and swing the weapon in time to the music. We'll have the music turned down, so I can't necessarily do that, but it always makes me giggle when people like shoot their weapon to the beat of the music. It's just some silliness. It's just a bit of silliness. It's just much too silly! Much too silly! Alright, now we gotta go to the top of the Grand Mountain here. Which, again, just wonder if it's just supposed to be Grand Mountain. Why am I killing stuff? Force a habit. See, now this is the point where I no longer OCD about killing because I'm maxed out, basically. I'm not OCD about killing anymore, and I think I have all my mind points too. Yeah, so there's no reason to grind at this point. But there, you know, unless something's in my way, that's the only reason to kill things at this point. And there's a free heal right here. This is, oh, well, this guy gives it to you as well. Well, maybe that is a guy that you have to have the coat of arms for. I don't remember. But he fills you up and gives you a potion, which is nice. It means you don't have to, like, use the potion and then come back in and get the potion again. It means you basically, you get your life maxed out and you get you get a potion that'll completely replenish your life. So basically you're getting double your hit points. Wow, I can't believe I dodged that. Usually those things hit me. Would you stop hitting me? Now this is a tower that's a pain in the ass if you haven't maxed out. Because these snells, called Kuzilars, I don't know why. If they take a bunch of hits, they have the same attack pattern as a Ruga, which is take a few steps forward, fire 3 bullets, take a few steps forward, fire 3 bullets. You see. And now that one I didn't get to him because I had to run across the screen, but if they spawn close to you, you can kill them before they can fire at you. And that's it. And I believe once they're dead, they're dead. They don't come back. I want to see if this guy back here comes back, actually. I don't think he does. I think once basically these all... Nope, this guy came back. I lied! So you can actually, if you really wanted to, you could probably grind on this guy right here. Because you pop up right next to him, where you can automatically hit him. So you can kind of kill him as soon as he spawns. But again, we've done all our grinding. These things are called Demoro Bruisers. They're essentially a dragon on a tank. I call them the Dragon Tank. Don't know why. And I'm going to keep saying that. This guy, pretty sure you can just tank this guy. Yeah. Death Pig over there. And here we have the flute. So it plays this instrument atop the Tower of Lyle. It doesn't tell you where that's at. But if you just... that freaks me out when you bug downward like that. Makes me think I'm gonna fall. The game doesn't tell you where that's at, but I believe if you follow all the hints, there are a few hints on the way that says to get the castle in the sky, blah blah blah. Matter of fact, I think the guy that's right up there by it tells you that you need to. This is the one that just tells you need to crossbow, right? Yeah. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Alright, so we're going to just make another quick detour to get healed up again, because there's no reason not to. We're right here. You can't, and by the way, you can only get one potion. You can't stock them. It'd be nice if you could. It's something I used to do in Final Fantasy Mystic Quest, is you go in and out of an area, and all the little brown treasure boxes would respawn all the potions and stuff. So I just keep those maxed out pretty much most of the way through the game. Okay. Just trying not to get hit at this point. I want to keep all my... You can say, wow, you got good. Not really. Alright, and now we gotta go back to Ralsa, which is the path you took to get to the Forest of Aruga, which is the first boss we fought. Which, I don't know if that was actually a new thing at this point in games or not, but essentially, the end of the game was... You get a taste of the end of the game from the beginning of the game. Like, I know, like Castlevania, you could see Dracula's castle in the background, and you could see the tower where he resides. like right at the beginning of the game, right? That kind of thing. It's like, all right, well, that's where we want to head to. Another game that actually does that is Amagon, of all things. I don't remember if it's the beginning or the end, but you can actually see the other end of the island in the background. It's pretty neat. I mean, it's just the background is all it is. It's nothing special, but it is pretty neat. So the fact that that's not where we're going. I can't believe I took a hit. I can't believe how many times I've said that. Let's run. Actually, at this point, I can believe I took a hit. Alright, since we're healed back up, let's head on up. Now we are headed to the end of the game here. Wow! Those things even follow me up here, man. They're determined. They're determined to beat my... to smack my little bottom. So, we use this Pegasus flute the same way that we use the potion, which is, again, you just move the arrow over it. There is a little tune that plays. Hey, I bounced off that guy. That's pretty neat. Let me, is it this button? Oh, no, I just... Maybe it's the select. I don't remember which button it is. I don't have the sound turned up, so I can't hear if it played or not. But I did waste all my points there. So I'm down a heal. So hopefully I won't need it, because if you don't get to that final boss without some way to heal yourself, if you don't get lucky, you're screwed. You have no choice but to go back and essentially get another potion, grind up your mind points, so on and so forth. Which grinding the mind points isn't too bad in this area, but having to go all the way back to get another potion, that's a pain in the drain. And you actually do have to go all the way over. Now you can actually, I'm not going to show it to you, but you can actually jump off. I don't think it's this side. I think it's the other side. You can jump back, and the screen will scroll over, and it actually scrolls you over to a glitched version of the castle, which I'm pretty sure I watched a video where somebody was exploring that, and essentially the game just kept locking up and crashing. Because it's a glitch. Actually, I think there is a way. Actually, I think there is a way inside this castle to replenish your hit points and your potion. Actually, I think you can do that from within. Wow. There's the Shadow Durago. The Shadow of Durago. You don't have to kill these things, by the way. You can just run right past them. But I kill them, especially now, since, like an idiot, I used all my mind points pushing the wrong damn button to try and use the flute. I think down is where the, I think the heal is down this way. I could be wrong. This might be the way to the boss. It doesn't matter. Yeah, here's the heal right here. Unfortunately, I still don't have my mind points. It's always hilarious to me that you take a hit as soon as you come out of that room. It's like, hey, I'm healed up. Boom! Oh, I guess not. Now, from this point forward, we're not going that way. Again, the only reason I'm doing so well with these enemies in here is because they're the ones that you can jump to avoid. You know, if this final area were a side-scrolling area, I imagine it would probably be a lot more difficult. And the thing is it's not the enemy movements that are difficult, it's just if you take a hit, they nail you. Yeah, even with even with all the items and maxed out, I'm still taking a decent amount of damage. Alright, healed back up. That works. Alright, I think we're getting close to the final boss here. And this will have been an interesting run. I've actually run this game before, all the way through without dying. A number of times, actually. But it has been, I will admit, I think the last time I legitimately played through this game was probably about 4 years ago. Because there's just some games that I just come back to again and again and again, because they're just that damn good and enjoyable and relaxing, and I almost just went off the ledge there. The slowdown, believe it or not, does help. It actually helps. Because it slows everything down. Again, we're gonna kill, because don't do that, because he respawns and gets all his hit points back. We're gonna kill, because I'm nowhere near the amount of life points, and we're at the final boss. So, we're still powered up there. Don't have enough for attack and assail, which would let me hit him from across the room, actually, without having to get in close. It let me do like 12 hits from across the room. Whoa, come on! I keep bouncing off his heads. Hey, we actually got him. I'm surprised I didn't have to heal there, because I kept hitting his heads and bouncing off of it. Now the Door of Peace opens, and there's actually a little melody for this, and it's actually called the Door of Peace. And I think they say that in the end credits here. They said the Door of Peace has opened once again. The peace has returned to Valhalla. How's that for some mixed mythology for you? It's mixed North mythology with Indonesian mythology. Well, that was a decent run. Is there some? Oh, okay. I gotta push the button there. Let's see if there's any English in here. The Door of Peace was opened, and peace did again come to Argul. There is no punctuation. People regain their smiling faces. That's not English. That's a translation issue. Because that's how Japanese reads. Like instead of saying people were happy again, the Japanese literal translation would be regain their smiling faces, or instead of saying we're happy again would translate as regain smiling face. It's this weird. It's this whole weird thing. It's hard to describe. One of these days, I might actually make a whole video on because I have studied I don't read or speak Japanese, but I have studied the localization process and the process of translation and how Japanese language works versus our own. So. Warrior of Argus, you really are a true hero. No congratulation for me. That's unfortunate. I was looking forward to a congratulation, but I guess I didn't get one. I guess I am not deserving of a congratulation. So, alright, well that's Rygar for the NES. I hope you enjoyed my commentary. If not, yeah, I got nothing for you. Have a good one. I'll see you next time.